Today, the risks in buy now, pay later services. Hello again, I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Welcome to our latest post covering finance and property news with a distinctively Australian flavour. ASIC has released its first review of the rapidly growing buy now, pay later industry. They show that these buy now, pay later arrangements are influencing the spending habits of consumers, especially younger consumers. Yet, 1 in 6 users had either become overdrawn, delayed bill payments, or borrowed additional money because of a buy now, pay later arrangement. Another lens on the growing debt problem. And by the way, if you value the content we produce, please do consider joining our Patreon program, where you can support our ability to continue to make great content. Here is the link. Buy now, pay later arrangements allow consumers to defer payment for purchases from participating merchants and obtain the goods and services immediately. These services are available from a range of merchants and could be used to finance high-end value purchases such as solar power products, health services, travel and electronics, and buy now, pay later arrangements are also available for everyday purchases from retailers such as Big W, Target, Harris Scarfe and Kmart. A buy now, pay later arrangement allows consumers to purchase and obtain goods and services immediately but pay for that purchase over time. While some buy now, pay later providers offer fixed term contracts up to 56 days for amounts up to $2,000, other providers offer a line of credit for amounts up to $30,000. Buy now, pay later arrangements allow consumers to defer payment for purchases from participating merchants and to obtain goods and services immediately. Under the arrangements, consumers are generally not charged interest. However, some arrangements have an establishment fee and account keeping fees, and consumers may also be charged a fee if they miss a payment. Now, these arrangements are not regulated under the National Credit Act, and as a result, providers are not required to be licensed or to comply with responsible lending laws that prohibit a lender from providing credit that would be unsuitable for the consumer. However, these arrangements are considered credit facilities under the ASIC Act, meaning that ASIC can take action where a buy now, pay later provider engages in conduct that is misleading or unconscionable. So ASIC undertook a proactive review of these arrangements to develop a broad understanding of this growing industry and to identify potential risks for consumers. The review examined 6 providers, 4 of which are part of larger ASX listed companies. Specifically, ASIC looked at services offered by Afterpay, zipPay, Certegy Ezi-Pay, Oxipay, BrightePay and Openpay. To better understand how this industry is working in practice, they considered qualitative and quantitative data from July 2016 to June 2018, and they also relied on independent consumer research, which involved a survey of 600 randomly selected consumers who had recently used a buy now, pay later arrangement. ASIC also tested each of the providers' performance in areas such as transparency, dispute resolution and hardship, and as a result, all of the providers have made improvements that will benefit consumers. For example, all of the providers are now members of the new Australian Financial Complaints Authority, and all of the providers are reviewing their standard form contracts for potentially unfair contract terms. ASIC found that the number of consumers who have used buy now, pay later has increased 5-fold from 400,000 to 2 million over the financial years 2015 to 2016 to 2017-2018, and the number of transactions has increased from around 50,000 during the month of April 2016 to 1.9 million in June 2018. And at the 30th of June 2018, there was $903 million in outstanding buy now, pay later balances. The typical buy now, pay later consumer is young, with 60% of buy now, pay later users aged between 18 and 34 years. They found that buy now, pay later arrangements can cause some consumers to become financially overcommitted and liable to paying late fees. And they showed that much of the revenue generated comes from merchant fees, but also includes some missed payments and other consumers' fees. And some generated significant revenue from late payment fees, and the effective rate of interest represented by such fees would be extremely high. ASIC showed that 1 in 6 users had either become overdrawn, delayed bill payments, or borrowed additional money because of a buy now, pay later arrangement. And most consumers believe that these arrangements allow them to buy more expensive items than they would otherwise and spend more than they normally would. Providers also use behavioural techniques which can influence consumers to make a purchase without careful consideration of the costs. The exponential growth in this industry, along with the risks we've identified, means this will remain an area of ongoing focus for ASIC. One area we'll be targeting is whether consumers are paying more than they need to for using a buy now, pay later arrangement, ASIC said. Now, given the potential risks to consumers, ASIC supports extending the proposed product intervention powers to all credit facilities regulated under the ASIC Act. And product intervention powers will provide ASIC with a flexible toolkit to address emerging products and services such as buy now, pay later arrangements. And this will ensure that ASIC can take appropriate action when significant consumer detriment is identified. Now, we think buy now, pay later services are especially attractive via digital platforms and enable consumers to get access to goods and services quickly and at no obvious incremental cost. That said, there is a risk of incurring additional costs when payments are late, and some may find their ability to borrow is greater than their ability to control their spend. In fact, our own analysis suggests that many of those who are using these facilities are also using credit cards, personal loans, and even payday loans. So buy now, pay later is really a quasi-credit service. As such, the current regulation is too weak. It is essentially yet another debt channel, and the risks are high. Instant gratification rules. As always, if you like what you've seen here today, please share and like the post and add a comment or question. I read them all. And if you want to join the growing band of subscribers who receive alerts when we release new posts, do subscribe now by hitting the subscribe bell. And if you have already subscribed, many thanks. I really appreciate your support and participation. I'm Martin North, the Principal Analyst at Digital Finance Analytics. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.